All right, so are you ready to go deep? Today we're diving headfirst into Taylor Swift. Specifically, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
Oh, this is a good one. So many layers.
Right. And I know a lot of you wanted to hear about this one, wanted to really understand what she's saying here. We're going to get into all that.
The rawness, the masks, the whole thing. Should be interesting.
Exactly. It's all about heartbreak, obviously,
hmm
but it's also about, like, resilience. What do you do when everything's falling apart?
And how do you deal with that when the whole world's watching? That's a huge part of the song, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Right from the beginning, she sets up this contrast. She's having the time of her life, she sings. Lights refract sequined stars off her silhouette every night. It's like pure superstar.
It's the image, the facade, and then bam, she hits us with, I'm a real tough kid, I can handle my shit. And it's like, wait a minute, something else is going on here.
Totally. And then there's that line, lights, camera, bitch smile, even when you want to die. Like, whoa, that's heavy.
It's the performance of it all, that pressure to project success and happiness, even when internally you're falling apart.
Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we've all felt that pressure to like put on a brave face,
Yeah.
especially in certain situations.
Sure. I mean, especially when you think about someone like Taylor Swift, she's constantly under a microscope.
Exactly. And the song even says it outright, fake it till you make it. It's this like societal expectation, particularly for women.
They said, babe, you got to fake it till you make it. And I did, she sings. And there's truth to that, right? Sometimes you do have to just keep going.
Right. Putting on that strong front can be empowering, but I mean, how long can you keep that up?
That's what I'm wondering. Because she also talks about channeling that pain, turning it into work.
Oh, absolutely. Grinning like I'm winning. I was hitting my marks. Workaholism as a coping mechanism. Classic.
And then she's like, I'm so depressed. I act like it's my birthday every day. It's like she's trying to convince herself, maybe.
Or maybe it's just how she gets through it. It's called emotional compartmentalization. You kind of like box up those feelings so you can function.
Oh, interesting. So it's like she could be super productive, but still deeply hurting underneath, like a performer going on stage even after a tragedy.
Exactly. And, it can be helpful in the short term, but eventually you have to unpack those boxes.
Otherwise, it's just going to build up.
Exactly. And that can lead to burnout, anxiety, all sorts of things. It's all about finding healthy ways to process those emotions.
And it's not like moving on is easy anyway, especially when you're surrounded by reminders. She sings, I keep finding his things in drawers. Crucial evidence I didn't imagine the whole thing. Ouch.
Little things can be so powerful. It's like these physical anchors to the past. Letting go is so important, but it's hard.
It's like you have to make space for new experiences, new emotions. But how do you do that when everything reminds you of what you've lost?
It takes time. And honestly, sometimes those reminders never fully go away, but you learn to live with them.
And in the meantime, you just keep going, which is what she seems to be doing. She's heartbroken, yeah, but also incredibly productive.
That line gets me. I cry a lot, but I am so productive it's an art. It's like she's found this weird kind of balance.
It's almost like she's turning that pain into fuel. Or maybe it's just a way to distract herself.
Could be both. It speaks to this idea of resilience, finding ways to keep moving forward even when it's hard.
And she even admits, like, you're good when you can even do it with a broken heart.
Right. And nobody even knows. Try and come for my job. Like, watch me thrive, even with this pain. It's powerful.
It is. But it also kind of makes you wonder, when is it healthy to project that strength? And when do you need to let yourself be vulnerable?
That's the big question, isn't it? And I think that's what the song is really getting at. It's about the tension between those two things.
We all wear masks to some extent. But when do those masks become too much?
Exactly. And what does it mean to do it with a broken heart? I think it's about finding that balance, recognizing that you can be hurting and healing at the same time.
It's about allowing yourself to feel those emotions, but also finding ways to keep going, to keep creating, keep working, keep living.
Absolutely. And it's about giving ourselves permission to not be okay, to ask for help, to let people in.
Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is admit that you're struggling.
And know that you're not alone in that struggle. We've all been there.
I can deal with a broken heart. It's a
Yeah.
powerful statement, and it's something we can all learn from.
I think so too. It's a reminder that even when things fall apart, we can pick ourselves up and keep going.
And that's a pretty powerful message, I think.
For sure. We all have those moments, right? But there's always a way forward. Maybe that's what Taylor's trying to tell us.
Maybe so. And maybe that's something to think about. The next time you're feeling broken, you can do it. We can all do it.
With a little help and a little bit of grace.
Exactly.